You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. And most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Brent Humpherys is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We got a little bit of a celebration today. We start with fun. We will get more serious. National Cotton Candy Day today. National Cotton Candy Day. Well, Brent, you like to be over at Legoland a lot. You get some cotton candy over there?
I haven't had any, but you've given me a great excuse. That's not sugar-coated.
I knew we had to get a pun from you somewhere.
It's always sticky.
It's all... Oof, we're gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something with your mic. It sounds a little funny to me. Maybe it's not the mic.
If you see cotton candy before others, do you have pink eye?
I like the blue cotton candy. You go for the pink one.
I do. Gotta admit it.
I'm not going to say a word. All I can do is get myself in trouble by saying anything at all there. Oh, well, we're going to move right along. Serious note, Pearl Harbor Day today. We do obviously remember those who were killed that day, sacrificed that day, brought us into World War II, and we certainly can never forget. Got to learn history. Obviously, we had, I think it was last week or the week before, we had Gail Eastman in talking about learning history and teaching the third graders the history of the U.S., and obviously that was a major day, a major event in our history. Got to learn from it. There's a lot that we can learn from, a lot that's been going on that we can really learn from, and I hope that we will do that. I was doing a little studying and listening to some commentary, I think it was in the Washington Post, from our former Secretary of Treasury, Lawrence Summers, served during the Clinton administration, talking about the fear or the forecasting maybe that he has, discussing a rate, the what appears to be an imminent intent of the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates next week, the 16th. And Mr. Summers' comments, very, very startling when we listen to what he had to say, talking about a combination of issues, raising interest rates. Are you aware that the U.S. was in a moderate economic pattern in the mid-30s, the mid-1930s? Not a great economy going on. They had done everything they could. They lowered interest rates into the latter part of the 30s. And in 1938, the Federal Reserve decided that even though the economy was not strong, they were going to raise interest rates in 1938, and they did. What happened in 1939? Just an idea of learning from our past. That's one of the issues that I bring up here. 1939, obviously the stock market took a major drop. Great Depression ensued. We've got a lot of different economics going on right now, but I do like the idea of at least listening and learning from the past. I mean, will it happen again? I hope not. Could it happen again? Here's the issue of what I say all the time about could it happen again and learning from history. I know we can never make guarantees in this industry. I mean, I know that the latest numbers that we've just reported show that real estate is reported to be on a rise, and we're saying 5.2% next year. Does anybody know that it's going to be 5.2% and not 5.3 or 4.2 or... No, we don't know that. We can't guarantee it. We can only go by best estimates using very, very strong or people that we can believe in. That same report told us that we're going to expect a projected increase in the state of California 10.8% next year. And it's coming from a very, very reputable source. This is coming from CoreLogic. They are one of the industry leaders in forecasting, taking 10.8% in California next year. Can we guarantee it? No. But we use history to try and project the future. As long as you don't live in West Virginia, you should be in good shape in the idea of projections for next year, again, based on CoreLogic's numbers. Using history, going backwards and trying to learn from the future. I listened to some of the recap of the speech from the president last night. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So he takes an oath of office in the midst of a huge economic downturn and a housing crisis. And what's on the top on the agenda? Obamacare. Does that make any sense?
You know better than that.
Well, we should have learned, but we didn't. Now we're watching terrorism all over the world. Right? Paris, San Bernardino. Now, why anybody wants to terrorize San Bernardino, I don't know. But we've got a lot of our friends and family in the area, and that's where it took place. And I believe, and in talking to several law enforcement officers over the last few days and people that deal with terrorism as their primary occupation, San Bernardino was just a test run. That's why there were so many pipe bombs there. That's why they had so much ammunition. That's why a person that earns $71,000 a year has $30,000 in firearms. Think about that. But what are we talking about from the president last night? He wants to battle the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Does that make any sense to you? Are we learning from the past? Now I'm going to tell you my personal opinion of the speech last night and the president's outtake. Too little, too late, too laggard, too lackadaisical. Basic 4 words that says that. Now listen to this one here. Go one step further from what the president's doing, what his administration is doing. Loretta Lynch. Now, she's charged with being the top law enforcement officer next to the president. What is she talking about? What is she doing? Think about this one, and no one else is going to tell you this except right here, Ron Siegel Radio. She's talking about the First Amendment, that we're going to upset somebody if we talk about terrorism and radical jihadist Muslims. And we might upset them, and it might lead to hate crimes. Now let me ask you this question, or let me share these numbers with you. Hate crimes, are you ready for statistics on hate crimes? Last year, there were 166 reported hate crimes against Muslims in the United States of America. 166. Yet, that's the battle of the Attorney General of the United States. Interesting. 598 hate crimes against Jews in the United States of America last year. Almost triple. Maybe it's more than triple, almost quadruple. Does she mention that? No. And when did we suspend the First Amendment to the Constitution? I'm just asking simple questions that inquiring minds want to know. Just think about that statistic. 598 hate crimes versus Jews, 166 against Muslims, and we're hearing about this going against Muslims in San Bernardino, but what about the issue against Christians when they talked about the Planned Parenthood shooting? Think about that one. The First Amendment doesn't say you only get to talk about the things you like to talk about. That's not what it's about. We have to learn from the past. We have to learn from it in all areas. We learn from it in finance. We learn from it in terrorism. I hate to say this because of the lack of leadership, and I've had a lot of people comment to me on this from the White House. Are we heading to World War III? Just a question. I certainly hope I'm wrong. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets as we remember Pearl Harbor Day right today. And we have to look back and we learn. We're going to talk about when we come back. We're going to get into our real estate discussion. Brent Humpherys is in the house. He doesn't get into this politics with me, except off air. We can debate then, Brent. The National Association of Realtors reveals 2 reasons to sell this winter. We're going to talk about it. How to get your offer approved or accepted when there's multiple offers. Brent will tell us which mortgage is for you. Does your state spend more money on prison than college? No, couldn't be. You can reach me anytime. Call our offer number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at Apris on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience, they can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-APRIS or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine, when it happens to you, you know what to do. Go Apris. Remember, call 844-GO-APRIS. That's 844-462-7747.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
My grandfather.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. If you're in a business, you're taking credit cards most likely. Who's paying that fee? Well, you are. And do you see any of that money going to your favorite nonprofit organization? Probably not. Commerce for a Cause, they'll match the fees and send 20% back to the nonprofit organization of your choice. I thought this might be timely since Brent Humpherys is in the house today, and we're going to be chatting about how to get an offer approved. I want to chat with you in the Mortgage Minute. What mortgage is for you? Conventional, FHA, VA, or one that most people won't even talk about when it comes to buying a house? How about, I'm going to say the technical name and I'll tell you what you know it as, the home equity conversion mortgage. Think about the home equity conversion mortgage. Put about 50% down, maybe 40, and never make a mortgage payment. What do you think about that one? So which mortgage is for you? Conventional loans. They're basically for borrowers with better levels of credit. And we've told you the definition of good credit. It's not what you're seeing in those commercials on TV that are blitzing you saying that you need an 800 credit score. No. Conventional loans, 680 or above. There's some loans even lower than that. But 680, 700, you can get a good conventional loan. You don't have to have a huge down payment, 5, 10, 20%. Debt-to-income ratios, you have to deal with that on every single loan, which is the best for you. I'm going to share with you that in my opinion, the FHA loan, there's some good uses for the FHA loan. If you had a derogatory event in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the FHA loan, it's going to get you back in the game sooner. We want to get you out of it as quick as we can because number one, you're going to get higher debt-to-income ratios. You're going to pay a little bit more now. Our friends over at VIP Mortgage do have that special going on right now. Think about this, a 30-year fixed-rate loan, but the first year's at 2.95%. Yeah, it's a 5.01 APR, but think about that, the 3.5% down. Credit score's down to 580. Think about that one. Now, the best loan on the market, that's the VA loan. Hands down, our veterans have earned it. The best loan on the market, the VA loan. Yeah, you've got a funding fee up front, the VA funding fee. You got to understand how it works. Not every lender is approved to even offer this. So make sure you're looking into it to see if a lender didn't ask you and you've got veteran experience, you've got veteran approval, the VA loan, that is by far the best loan on the market. Now, in up to certain limits, you can do that with zero down payment. So veterans, think about this. You're trying to figure out how to get into a new lease? No. Go call Brent Humpherys and buy a house, and you do it with a VA loan, and he can structure that so you get in with nothing out of your pocket and start making your mortgage payment next month. Actually, it'll be in February if you start right now, but that's just the way it works. Or we do it with that home equity conversion mortgage. Now that's for our seasoned population. Brent, like how you use that term, seasoned population.
Good. Yeah.
Right? Those are our friends that are over 62. That's the reverse mortgage. Large down payment, and you're going to be able to be no mortgage for the rest of your life. No mortgage payment for the rest of your life. Yes, you have to take care of the insurance. You have to. You have to do that on a regular property, on a regular loan anyway, don't you? Yeah. Property taxes, well, if you have a mortgage or no mortgage, you got to pay your property taxes. And you got to maintain the property. So I don't see any big issues there either, but that's a great product for the right person. It's not a great product for every person, but there is no loan. I wouldn't say the FHA product is great for everybody. The conventional loan isn't great for everybody, and not everybody qualifies for the VA loan. So there's no loan that's great for everybody. but every loan has its purpose, and you need a great mortgage banker to help you with that. I put you in touch with our friends over at VIP Mortgage to help out there. They can handle all of your lending needs. That's the Mortgage Minute. Again, brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. So we're going to chat this morning. Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates, Carlsbad, California.
That's right.
So we gotta get into this, because right now I'm going to suggest that next year, or as we get into springtime, we're going to get back into a marketplace, especially if property values are appreciating, like CoreLogic says, 5.8% in California. I'm sorry, 10.8% in California, 5.2 throughout the country is a national number.
So we're double in the Golden State.
But what we're going to be looking at is we might get back to multiple bid situations.
We're there now.
Okay, so we're already there. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't come in with this because it's not happening. It's happening.
Okay. So give us a couple of ideas. Let's start. Give me the best thing that somebody can do. I should say. I'm going to say the second best thing somebody can do if they want to get their offer accepted.
The second best thing
Well, the first best thing is they got to work with a great real estate agent.
That's right, and a very great lender.
Okay, so we can only go to number 2 from there.
So it really, Ron, it comes down to what I like to call reveal and appeal. Reveal is let the seller know everything relevant about you that will make them fall in love with you. There's something emotional that happens with a lot of people when they sell a home. They want to know, who is this family, or who is this person? Who's going to be moving in? Who's going to be taking over this bedroom, this living room? Who's going to be caring for the yard? Sellers really want to know that. And the more you can share in an offer, not just with terms and price and timing, but about who you are, will really, really help.
To try to develop. Well, but here's the difficult part. I mean, Brent, I wouldn't take a picture of me because that would scare somebody. Right?
No.
But maybe my wife and kids, they would like to see those pictures. How do I get to know them? Because in this day and age, for the most part, I don't meet the seller if I'm the buyer.
Correct. You may never see them. So you've got to meet them through developing a relationship in bite-sized pieces. Think of the way things happen with social media, where you see a little picture, or you see this, or you see a post about the kids, or about you and the wife getting away, and then over time you feel like you know the person. In real estate, it's the same way, but you've got to accelerate that and make it happen really, really fast. Let people know who you are, and that you've toured the neighborhood, that you have 3.4 kids, and I don't know how that works out, but that it's a
0.4 is a tough one.
It's a bad on-air joke, yeah. But that you've looked at the elementary, the middle, and the high schools, that you've satisfied yourselves with the commute to and from work. And the more the seller knows that you are in love with their home, and that you're an informed, ready, willing, and able buyer, and that all the influencers have seen the property, there are no outside influencers, that the mortgage was a full conditional approval and not a pre-qualification where, I like to call it the lender quickie. John and Jane called the lender and said, here's generally what I make, and I think my credit's good. How much do I qualify for? And they get that spit out, congratulations, we think you can pull it off letter. You want to have a letter with bullets. Based upon your income, based upon the credit reports that we've pulled, based upon tax returns, pay stubs, all of that, you are pre-approved for $565,000. A letter with substance, with resume bullets, will make you look a lot better in the process.
Now, here's one that I just got the other day. I had a gentleman who told me that the lender approved him, and I'm going to do it off the top of my head. The numbers really don't matter. But the lender approved him at $425,000, and he's comfortable with a payment that equates to about $350,000 purchase price.
Interesting.
And should he be asking the lender for a pre-approval letter at $350, or should he be asking for it through $425, or should he wait for the realtor to say, for a conversation with the realtor to decide what they're going to make their offer at? And go from that number. Excellent
question. So what I would say is that in a market of limited inventory and historically low interest rates where properties are moving very quickly, I would advise the buyer to have the lender send both letters, and maybe one somewhere in between, and have those both available in the cloud, so the moment that offer is made, you can present an offer with a good pre-approval letter that matches what he's trying to do. People have varied over the years about if they qualify for 425 and they're offering 425, is that a good idea, or what if it's 4? Should I let them know how much I qualify for? That's what I'm trying to say. And years ago, I used to think it would be better to suggest a lower amount, but sufficiently enough to make the offer. And then if you need the additional money, add it. Now I think it's better to actually say what you qualify for, and here's why I say that.
Save that.
Okay.
Oh, what a great segue there, Brent. What are you going to qualify for? We're going to chat about that. How does Brent feel we need to make... Because we're talking about getting the offer accepted. This isn't where we're just dealing with the negotiation. We're trying to get this accepted. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to get that answer from Brent Humpherys. The National Association of Realtor report reveals 2 reasons to sell this winter. What are they? And does your state spend more money on prison than college? I can't believe that there are states that will do that, but we'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com. Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Area trusted real estate professionals. What do you think they're going to be helping you with? Interesting. I was at an event last night. Amazing how many people wanted to know what their home value is. And I'm going to share with you. You can go online. You can get this information from Zillow. You can get this information from Trulia. You can get it from a lot of different sources. And if you will look at their website, they will tell you the data they're giving you is wrong. Gotta love it. The data they're giving you is wrong. They tell you on their website. So what do? I'm going to share with you any place that you're going to go to get an automated valuation. And yes, I understand this because I've led a lending team for decades. We go online and we look at automated valuations to get an idea, especially if you're thinking about refinancing your house, to get an idea of what the value is. But that's not going to, number one, it's not going to tell you that's going to tell you what happened historically. A realtor, they're going to tell you what they can sell your property for. Why would they tell you what they can sell it for? And it may be higher, it may be lower. Why would they tell you what they can do it for? They don't make any money if they just give you a value. They make money if they assist you and if they educate you to a level of comfort that you're willing to trust them with your largest asset, your most valuable asset. So if you will text PEAR, P-E-A-R, Professional Equity Analysis Review, to 79564, one of the area trusted real estate professionals will reach out to you for a conversation. Then they can go in and do a valuation of your property based on which side of the golf course you're on. Because if you're on one side of the course, it's more valuable than the other side of the course. Maybe you've got a view, maybe you don't have a view, maybe you've upgraded your home, maybe you haven't upgraded your home. Maybe you've still got that avocado carpeting that many of us had in our houses in the 70s. Some of you may not have even remembered the 70s.
Avocados and pears. This is planned, isn't it?
Exactly. Avocados and pears. It's fruits, sir. Fruits.
That's right. Bear fruit.
Text PEAR, P-E-A-R, to 79564 and get the true value of your home from one of the area trusted real estate professionals. The National Association of Realtors reports reveal 2 reasons to sell this winter. And I'm going to give you those 2 reasons. The last 2 major reports issued by the National Association of Realtors revealed information that suggests that now is a great time to sell your house. Let's look at how the data covered by the latest pending home sales report and existing home sales report. Pending home sales report reports announced that pending home sales, homes going into contract, are up 3.9% over last year and have increased year over year now for 14 consecutive months. Lawrence Yoon, National Association of Realtors chief economist, expects demand to remain stable through the final 2 months of the year and forecasts existing homes, obviously this was done a couple months ago, forecasts existing home sales to finish 2015 at a pace of 5.3 million, the highest since 2006. Takeaway, demand for housing will continue throughout the end of 2015 and into 2016. That's how we come up with a number of what values are going to do this coming year. The existing home sales report. The most important data point revealed in the report was not sales, but instead the inventory of homes on the market. We've got to look at supply and demand. The report explained total housing inventory decreased 2.3% to 2.14 million homes available for sale. That represents a 4.8 month supply at the current sales pace. Unsold inventory is 4.5% less than a year ago. Now, Brent's been telling us this for months, that the amount of homes available in San Diego are down. We didn't need Lawrence Yoon to tell us, but Brent, they must be listening to you, right?
I'd be flattered if Lawrence was listening to me.
There were 2 more interesting comments made by Mr. Yoon in the report. Number 1, new and existing home supply has struggled to improve, leading to few choices for buyers and no easement of the ongoing affordability concerns still prevalent in some markets. Second, unless sizable supply gains occur for new and existing homes, prices and rents will continue to exceed wages in the next year and hamstring of a large pool of potential buyers trying to buy a home. As rents and prices increase, potential buyers will not be able to save as much for a down payment, and many may become priced out of the market. Takeaway: inventory of homes for sale is still well below the 6 months needed for a normal market. Prices will continue to rise if a sizable supply does not enter the market. Takeaway is take advantage of ready, willing, and able buyers that are still out looking for your house. And again, if you want to know what your house is worth, because so many people, we've told you 30% of the people, we saw that in a Freddie Mac report, 30% of the people have the wrong idea of the value of their home. 30%. It's actually a little higher than that.
I think it is.
Text PAIR, P-E-A-R, to 79564. Get the value of your house and take action now. Maybe you want a bigger house. Maybe you want a right size. Maybe you want to move to San Diego or to Santa Barbara. I don't know. But again, take action. That is the real-time real estate segment, brought to you by those area trusted real estate professionals. So before the break, Brent, we were talking about the idea of getting an offer accepted. And we're chatting with Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates in Carlsbad, talking about the idea of getting an offer accepted, the idea of the letter that tells the seller that the buyer is pre-approved, not pre-qualified, that somebody has legitimately done some due diligence.
Yes.
You're mentioning the idea of having, and I'm gonna throw two different thoughts at you, then I want to let you take it away from there.
Okay.
When you send out a pre-approval letter that's the exact same number as on the offer,
Correct.
that's going to certainly tell the seller and the seller's agent that there is some sort of a close relationship, a working bond
Very good.
between the realtor and the mortgage person,
Yes.
right? So there's one side of it there.
It's coordinated, yeah.
We've also talked about the idea that if a realtor wants to get their property seen by the majority of the marketplace, they're going to list that property undervalued, right? 15%, the statistics show, means 90% of the available buyers. If you list it 15% below market, 90% of the marketplace is going to see the property. 15% above market means 10% of the marketplace sees the property. But if you did that, listed at 15% below, and the offer letter comes in at the exact same price, the seller's scratching his head saying, and they can see me scratching my head here on live stream, on SiegelRadio.tv.
I'll scratch mine too.
Okay. They're saying, well, that guy doesn't qualify for the price we really want, so we don't even entertain the offer.
Right. Well,
what are we going to do?
Well, you're the lender, but here's what I see. What I see is that, based on your example, the person's comfortable with a $350,000 mortgage payment.
Right.
But they really qualify up to $425,000. Let's suppose, now I'm just going to interject, that they've offered $400,000 on the property.
Okay.
I think the question that you're asking is, should we show $400,000 and coordinate it, or should we say $425,000?
Right.
And my view is that if you just deliberately pare down the letter, different spelling.
P-E-A-R.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, I don't mean to mess up the text for your area trusted professional. If you pare down that letter to exactly what the person qualifies for and that they're offering, if interest rates change unfavorably, so they're offering $400,000, the letter says $400,000. If interest rates go up 0.25% or 1/8, they suddenly don't qualify. So I think it's better to show the maximum qualification of that buyer, because in a multiple offer situation, you want to look as strong as possible. You don't look like you just barely scratched up enough change underneath the couch or the mattress to be able to qualify.
Interesting. Okay, so that there's a million ways to do it, and one of the things that's beautiful about what we're sharing with you this morning on Ron Siegel Radio is Brent's out there doing it every day. It's not a textbook. Nothing against textbooks. We've got our friends over at Chapman University. I was with some of them yesterday. Nothing against textbooks, but you're out there doing it every day, which is the most important part.
Yeah, I want to know that buyer. When I run an offer desk, which I do, and an offer comes in, I want to know that buyer can qualify, period. And if it's a 30-day escrow and we think that interest rates are going to tick up over the next month, I want to know they've locked in, all of that.
And I'm going to suggest that most real estate agents, realtors, real estate brokers, their main focus is not economics. And while they're seeing superficially what the markets are doing, they're not studying it every day like an economist would, like a banker would. They're out there studying the real estate and the real estate market and the real estate values. and they don't want to deal with the interest rates.
Unless they're weird like I am.
Well, I'm not even going to go there, Brent. I was being nice to you, too. Give me a couple other ideas on what we can do. We've got actually, you know something? Brent's got about 4 more ideas on how to make your offer the one that's accepted. And we'll talk about them when we come back, because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. If you want to meet Brent Humpherys, just give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. I'll make that introduction. And stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Attention homeowners 62 and older. Do you worry if you can afford to keep your home? Are you concerned about paying all your monthly expenses? Or do you simply wish you could live a better retirement? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may qualify for a program that can help. It's called FHA Reverse Mortgage. It's insured by the federal government. You'll receive tax-free money. You aren't required to make any monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home. Siegel Lending Team is a local leader in FHA reverse mortgages. Call free to get your free reverse mortgage guide, free custom quote. And when you call now, you can get all your questions answered by local experts. There is no monthly mortgage payment, and tax-free money you can use for healthcare expenses, home improvements, or just live a better retirement with peace of mind. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-1990 to get your free reverse mortgage guide and quote. You'll also find them on the web at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Call 800-306-1990 now.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Quality Chevrolet will meet or beat any California Chevy dealer's advertised price. See dealer for details. Find new roads to Quality Chevrolet in Escondido, your friend in the car business.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today brought to you by your household board of directors. I was chatting with a guest or somebody last week, and I didn't realize this. It's kind of a sad topic to bring up, but we don't get the opportunity of just sharing the things we like here on Ron Siegel Radio. Do you know what the number one week is for filing divorce? Number one week of the year? First week of January. People actually figure that they're going to go through the holidays being miserable and take action the first week of January. You might want to have a household board of directors, and in order to get that household board of directors, it does include family lawyers. We all know that as we come up to the end of the year, we need to be dealing with our tax planning. If you're one of our listeners that are over 70, you've got that required mandatory distribution. Brent, you probably took care of that already? Required mandatory distribution?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Area Trust Professionals, text ATP to 79564, and we will put together that household board of directors for you. I found this fascinating when we were looking at the word on wealth. Does your state spend more on prison than on college? There are 11 states that are spending more on prisons than they are on college. 11. I wonder what they all seem to have in common. New Hampshire, Oregon, Arizona's on there, that's odd. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Colorado, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. These are numbers that came from the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and put together by the Kaiser Family Foundation. Those states are spending more on prisons, more of their budget gets spent on prisons than on college. The largest percentage of correctional spending was in Michigan, where prison spending neared a whopping 23% of their general fund. 23%.
Goodness.
Oregon, they lead in the fact that they spend 10% more of their fund on prisons than higher education. 10% more. And unfortunately, funding for prisons has increased 141% since 1986. And I've come up with many ideas. I don't know why they don't follow them. I think that if California, if we wanted to solve some of our crime, stick the prison out there in Death Valley. Right? I mean, it might be a little bit warm, but we're not looking to air condition the place. I mean, just if that's what they want to be doing is breaking the law, so be it. Have fun. Death Valley is the place. I'll get off my soapbox because I want to get more to the conversation with Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again brought to you by the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio, setting up that household board of directors by simply texting ATP to 79564. So, Brent, we were chatting during the break, and you made a comment. We were talking this morning about the idea of how to get your offer accepted. And so many times I hear this, people don't look at motivation.
Right.
Right?
Or they're just not motivated.
Or they're not, right. Exactly.
It's a whole show right there, just there.
Well, we just talked about the prisons and spending all that money there. But here's the idea, negotiations. I think the answer in every single negotiation is to find, if you can come up with a win-win, it's probably the best solution.
That's right.
And my motivation may not be apparent until I actually divulge it. And some people may be motivated by money, some may be motivated by time, some may be motivated by convenience.
Convenience is it.
Right?
Have you read my notes?
I didn't. They're typed so small.
Convenience is a biggie.
I'm so old I can't see that they're typed way too small for me, Brent. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Dealing with the seller's motivation.
Okay, so there are two things that happen in every offer that need to take place. And if one of these does not take place, you're going to be very, very fortunate if your offer is accepted. You need to reveal who you are, what your intentions are, why you are the best candidate to be accepted. This isn't a multiple offer context.
Okay.
But you also need to have appeal. So reveal and appeal. And appeal is where I see most of the offers that come across my desk when buyer's agents present on some of our listed properties, where people are missing the wagon. Is that a new phrase? I don't know. They're missing the wagon. They're missing the boat. They're missing out. What is the seller's motivation? Why are they selling? Are they selling and moving out of state? Are they selling to downsize? Are they selling and then they're going to just exit the market and rent? Or have they identified another property, and does that property have a time frame with it? When I get PDF offers, hitting my inbox, and then maybe just a random text, hey, I presented an offer, just please confirm receipt. That is from an agent that's not trying, or they're just misinformed. They need to call and find out, what's your seller's motivation? Have they identified another property? Is there a time frame? Do they need to rent back their property? When you make an offer with a certain price and a 30-day escrow, you may hit the price right on the nose, but if the seller needs to rent back because they're buying new construction that's not going to be done for 2 months, you need to work out that timing so the seller doesn't have to move twice. My wife and I have been in 21 purchase and resale transactions in our 20-year marriage, and I can tell you one thing I know, particularly because of the young children, moving's a pain. And so if you can present an offer...
You haven't figured out how to do it yet, because you've done it 21 times.
Yeah, one time with a golden retriever in the cab of the truck. That's a whole story. If you can minimize inconvenience to the seller, if you can time the buyer's taking possession of that property with the seller's desired date of vacating the property, you are automatically winning on so many bullet points that many offers miss. So find out what's important to the seller, because you can win through items not just price related.
And you brought up something that is very, very foreign. Unfortunately, it's more and more foreign in our society as a whole today.
What's that?
You said pick up the phone and call them.
Oh yeah, success begins with saying hello, how may I help you?
Right?
You find out what they want.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, because right now, the whole concept anymore, I email, I text, I social media message, I tweet, but the idea, I think I can say this, Steve, but I always tell agents that and a lot of business people, the key to success in so many areas of business, pick up the damn phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you and I are big time. I mean, I'm not going to say that you and I don't text a lot, and we certainly email a lot, and you're on social media more than I think almost anybody I know, right?
Yeah,
you still have time to pick up the phone.
You absolutely have to. Yeah, a lot of offers on a property creates a lot of noise, and what you need to do is you need to find a way, and this is a radio analogy, but to tune that frequency so there's no static, and you are broadcasting, you are standing out. I mean, I think back a couple of years ago when I represented the Van Dyken family, nicest family you could ever meet, 4 kids, they had new construction, they weren't going to be moving for a while, and there were 32 offers on that property in the first week, and it was amazing to sit down with them for about 3.5 hours, and I made 3 stacks. No way, possible, and then, the real contenders. And I don't remember if I gave it those labels, but the idea was to really focus and hone in on the offers that sounded the best to the seller, and then working from there. If you call another agent and say, hey, I'm going to be making an offer this afternoon around 3 o'clock, what things are you authorized to share with me that are really big points for your seller? Because I'd like to offer all of those and be the winning bid. There are so many agents that don't do it that way, but it makes sense. The more you can find out about the seller and appeal to them, the better your offer is going to be. And then, Ron, one thing that I just absolutely love is the idea of offering something completely over the top, crazy.
Give me an idea of something.
Okay. Think with me, if you will, that you're representing a buyer on a property that's vacant, it's a little bit dated, maybe the property's built in like the 60s or the 70s, and through some basic fact-finding, you find out that the seller is moved to convalescent care or retirement home, and the children are managing the deal, okay? It's in a trust. What one thing do you know? Well, that home has been in the family for 40, 50, 60 years.
Sure.
There are memories there. There were children who were born there, maybe married there, moved on, had children, all of that. What if in your offer you wrote in, upon acceptance, buyer will plan and pay for a gathering of the family, they'll hire some entertainment, they'll cater it, and they'll fly all the living relatives in. If assuming they're across the country, may cost you $1,000 to $5,000. What's going to be talked about when the listing agent sits down with the decision makers? This one offer, this Smith family decides to fly us all in and hire entertainment and cater a memorable party and a photographer for a couple of hours to preserve the memories in that home. Who is that seller thinking about? Who are they up at night thinking about?
Sure. And that's getting back to making the offer memorable.
Yeah, but people will all day long say, okay, if necessary, we'll counter back, we'll offer another $1,000, another $5,000. But what if you did $2,500 and throw in a big party for that seller?
And it's all about, then you're going to something intangible. It's not always about price.
It's not.
Some people think that's the only thing that matters in a negotiation.
It's one of the important ones, but there are many others.
Right? I mean, well, but I mean, we've talked about this before. Sometimes a buyer is willing to spend a little more money than they might otherwise, or than the property might be worth, to get the seller to help with closing costs.
Correct. Yeah, stacking.
Right? Because you got to find out what's the important issues.
Right, and that begins with a conversation, not just the PDF into an inbox.
Absolutely, and really it starts one step before that, finding a great real estate agent, because this is your family's legacy. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. Again, if you want to meet any of our guests, just give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to introduce you to Brent Humpherys, Humpherys Homes and Estates. Again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.
Guys,